So good morning, everybody. Bright and early. Glad you guys all made it. We're going to be using light to mid-weight weights today. So if you don't happen to have weights at home, it's an excellent day for adding in water bottles full of water, things like that. You don't need quite as heavy of dumbbells for most of the moves. We are going to get started by getting warmed up on the floor today. So we're going to come down to all fours, okay? Make sure you get nice, good form here. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. And we're going to start with a bird dog. We're going to ease into it. So I'm going to slide that back foot along the floor and then bring it in. Other side, slide the foot along the floor. Okay? When you feel like your balance is ready for it, go ahead and lift that back foot. Reaching and stretching through that arm and that leg. Elongating the body. Just trying to get some mobility going. Get ourselves moving bright and early. Although it's not bright, but it is early. All right, we're going to do 3 more of these each side. Two more each side. And 1 more each side. All right, we're going to stay down on the ground. We're going to lay down on our backs. We're going to do some glute bridges to get those glutes warmed up. Okay, bend the knees, feet are on the ground. I'm going to push up through the heels, squeeze the glutes, and lower. Push up, squeeze, and lower. Squeeze, and lower. Very good. Just warming up the back of the body a little bit. We do 8 more of these. Very good. Give me 6. And 4. And 2. And last one. All right. Then we're going to stand it up, okay? Bring it all the way up to the top. We're going to do an alternating reverse lunge with a reach back over the head, okay? So let me show you. We'll take that step back, reach, come back up to the top, step back, reach, okay? Opening up that chest, warming up the shoulders, as well as the legs. You decide how low you take this lunge. It is a warm-up. If you even want to just step back and reach and not hardly bend that knee at all, that is also an option, okay? Do 3 more each side. Two more each side. One more each side. This will be the last one. All right, stand up for me. Going to either starting a jog or a march, okay? Just getting that body, the heart rate going now too, okay? Moved the muscles. Never gonna move that heart muscle. All right. So today, for our moves, we're going to be doing what we call a pyramid. So when you think of a pyramid, you start at the bottom, you build up to the top, and then you build back down. So we're doing a small pyramid. Sometimes people do pyramids, and you might start with 10 reps, then 20, then 30, then 40. Ours is going to be smaller than that. We're going to start with 6 reps, 8 reps, 10 reps as our top. Come back down 8 and 6. Okay? As I said, we are using lighter to mid weights for today. As we go through, kind of play with your weights, see what works for each move for you. Okay? All right. Give me some butt kicks right here. Okay? Hand curls, or if you want to speed it up, butt kicks. Okay? So the last warm-up thing, and then we'll get going with our exercises. All right. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so our first move, I'm going to show you it with 0 weights. You can figure out what you want to do. Then we'll grab our weights and we'll get going. We're going to be coming down to all fours, and it's combining 2 moves, okay? The first move is going to be a bench arm fly, but we're coming at it from an all fours position. So we're down on all fours. So you'll have one hand with one weight. It's going to come out to the side with a bent arm. Okay, we're not going to do straight. Bent arm right here and raise. Okay, that's move 1. Move 2, we often call this a fire hydrant. So it's an all fours move with the leg. I'm going to demonstrate on this side of the body, but it'll be done on the opposite side of the body is the arm. So that knee will come up like this. So let's say I'm flying with this arm and bringing this one up. It would look like this. It would be a very nice and controlled movement. You come to this side, nice and controlled, okay? So we'll do 6 reps on one side, then we'll switch to the other side and do 6 reps. So grab one weight that you feel will work with this move. Choose which arm is going to be working first. Set up that all fours position. And before we get going, quick timeout. If doing both of those moves at the same time is just a little too crazy, maybe you lack the coordination, maybe you lack the core strength, choose one of them. Instead, you can just do the arms. You can even, sit up on your knees and do a bent arm raise right here. Okay, instead, or you can stay on all fours and do just the legs and do the fire hydrant, okay? Your call. All right, here we go. So arm and leg at the same time, nice and controlled. Still trying to keep the body balanced, okay? Give me 2 and 1, starting with low reps, okay? We switch to the other side. Just 6 of these, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Excellent. Like I said, the next time we'll do 8, then 10, and then we'll bring it back down. Next exercise, we are going to get 2 weights. We're going to be doing a glute bridge, and then we're going to be doing a chest fly. So arms are bent, come out to the side, back to center. Grab a weight that you feel will work for that, and then we'll talk a little bit more on our backs, okay? Okay, so I'm going to come down to the ground, do that glute bridge that we did in the warm-up. Knees are bent, feet are on the floor, and we'll lift up. So the arms are going to do a single, and then a double. So that means I'm going to have one arm at the top while one arm comes down. Bring it back to the top. The other arm comes down, back up to the top. Then I do both arms, okay, out to the top. All right, 6 of these. Here we go. One arm, second arm, both arms. I'm staying in this glute bridge that whole time. Both arms. One arm, second arm, and both halfway. One arm, second arm, both arms. Very good. 2 more. One arm, second arm, and both. Final one. One arm, second arm, and both. All right. Very good. Come down. Then we'll stand it up. Okay. For this next one, technically you only need one weight at a time, but I'm going to hold both my weights. And one arm will just be still. We're going to be doing a windmill. So we bring our feet nice and wide apart. One hand slides down the leg, while the other one just lifts and holds, okay? So we start with that weight overhead, and then as we slide this weight down, we kind of take that hip out, and back up to the top, okay? So we will do 6 on this side, and we'll switch to that other side, all right? Breathe. Got 2 more. 2 and 1. So then we do that other side. This weight comes down, this arm comes up. Okay, we're gonna keep that hip out as we come down. I'm gonna look up towards that weight. Nice strong back. Last one right here. All right, stand it up. Okay, this next one is going to involve some balance. We are going to hold a single leg deadlift at the top. So with a single leg deadlift, you're coming to one foot, and that leg is coming up. So this will be considered the top, where you're standing on one foot, and the other leg is up and extended behind you, and you have a nice straight back, and kind of at tabletop. So right here. So we're going to come to that position and hold. You take it down a little farther if you can. If balance is a struggle for you, you're going to kickstand it. You're going to come, hinge forward. This toe is balancing you right here. So arms, we're going to do a row where both arms come up, and then a fly where both arms come out to the side. Okay? So find a weight that will work for you for that. You can usually row heavier than you can fly. So try and base it off of that one. Okay? Plus you have the balance. Sometimes when you're using balance, it's a good idea to go with a lighter weight. Okay? Because you don't have that nice stable base. Okay? All right, so choose a leg, come and balance right here. We're gonna row and fly. Row and fly. 3. All right, pause, switch legs, halfway through. Okay, row and fly. 1 more, row and fly. All right, stand up. 6 is easy. Like I said, it will build as we go. Okay, the next one is going to be a set of high bicep curls. So when I say high, bring the arms out, curling into shoulders, extending back out, curling into shoulders, standing nice and tall, okay? So this is harder than the traditional bicep curls where you're down here. You can lift heavier right here than you can when you're coming from that lateral extension, okay? So choose a weight accordingly, just 6 reps here at the beginning. Bring those arms up, curl into the shoulders, and straighten out. Into the shoulders, straighten out. Just 6 reps. Halfway. Stand tall, breathe. 5 and 6. Very good. Bring it down. 1 weight is needed for this next move. We're going to do a canoe row. Has nothing to do with any of the rows that we just did, and more to do with thinking of actually rowing an actual canoe. Okay? We're going to be basically making a figure 8 with the weight. It comes towards one hip, then it comes towards the other one. I like to take this from, my feet about hip width apart, maybe slightly more, slight bend in my knees. Activate the core right here. Take it one hip and then the other. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, stand up. 1 weight needed for this next one is going to be a row with the arms. So if you feel like you can go a little heavier, you can. Let me demonstrate, and then I'm going to grab a slightly heavier weight. So I'm going to start with my dumbbell on the floor. I'm going to come down, grab it with one hand, give myself a row, come down, switch, give myself a row, come down, okay? We stay pretty low through that whole move, and then I come down slightly to put the weight down on the floor and grab it with the other hand, okay? So choose a weight that will work for this. Set that weight on the floor, okay? Bring those feet nice and wide, come into that partial squat, reach down, row side 1, take it to the floor, switch, row side 2. Keep a nice strong back as you do this, okay? We'll do 6 each arm. We're halfway. Very good. 2 more. One more. All right. Nice job. Next move. We're going to be doing a kneeling lean back with an overhead tricep extension. So you can grab 2 weights for this one, or you can grab 1 weight and hold it. I think I'm going to go with that option and grab 1 weight. So what I mean, we're going to come to high knees. We're going to lean back and come forward. At the top, We do a tricep, lean back, forward, tricep, okay? If you need to bring the weight down to lean back, and then take it back up overhead, that is an option because it can be a little hard to hold it up above the head. But if you want that challenge, keep it above the head. So choose a weight for that, or a set if you want to hold 2 of them. If you're bringing that weight above the head, bring it here. If you need to, right here at the chest. Let's lean back at the top, tricep. Lean back, tricep. On that lean back, activate the muscles of the body, the glutes, the abs, the back, the leg muscles too. This is the last one. All right, excellent. And then we're gonna stay down. If this weight works for you, we're gonna be doing a hollow hold. So think of like our V-sit with some flutter kicks. And we're gonna hold a weight above the chest. So it looks like this. I'm gonna lean back, bring the weight up overhead, peel my shoulder blades up off the ground, and then I'm just going to scissor the legs or flutter them really close together, okay? You can kind of decide if you want to go for a bigger motion or a smaller motion. I think I'm gonna keep mine smaller. If you need to make this move easier, instead of pulling those shoulder blades up off the ground, just keep them on the ground, okay? And then just focus on the legs, pressing the low back into the mat, okay? All right, come on down. Weight comes overhead. Feel those shoulder blades, lift the legs. Let's flutter. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. All right, next time around, and I'll try to remind you of this. The next time around, if you want to make this harder, you can take this weight up behind the head. Okay, that'll make it a little harder. It's kind of behind you instead of right above the chest. All right, next up, we're gonna be doing some renegade rows with some push-ups, okay? So I'm gonna grab a set of dumbbells to do that with. Rows and push-ups. So we will do our set of renegade. So you'll roll one side, then the other, and then you'll do a push-up in the middle. This can be done from knees, right here, okay? Or you can do the rows from plank and come to the knees if you usually do your push-ups on your knees. So it's gonna look like this. Row one side, row side 2, push up and up, okay? Since you have the dumbbells, it's kind of forcing you to do a little bit harder of a push-up. But hang in there, do it your best, okay? If you feel like your push-up starts to get really awful and you can't complete this form, just stick with the renegade row part, okay? Do as many push-ups as you can for good form. This time, 6, okay? So count the push-ups in between. All right, here we go. Set it up. Row and row. Push up. Row. Row. Push up. Halfway. Final set. Nice job, everybody. One final exercise, and we start at the top, okay? So this one uses no weight, so this can be set to the side. We're going to be doing a double leg lower. Whoa, I just mixed my words together. A double leg lower with an open and close at the bottom. So let me show you. Legs come up to the top. You can keep that back and shoulders on the ground, or you're welcome to cradle the head and come and lift those shoulders. We'll double lower the legs, open and close, and back up to the top, okay? Another option is to take those hands and put them kind of under the hips if you're doing the option where the shoulder blades are on the ground, okay? That can give a little extra stability. All right, just 6 of these. Up at the top, down, open, close, back up. Nice and controlled. Try and press that low back towards the floor, especially on the leg lower. Is that 3 more?
3 or 4.
We'll do 1 more. All right. Whew. Take a breather. Grab a drink, sip of water, okay? And then we'll start at the top, okay? Which was the all fours, fly, and fire hydrant. Second time through, we do 8 reps of everything. All right, so grabbing 1 weight. So it's that bent arm, raise up to the side, opposite knee coming out, okay? Choose a side, 8 reps. Go to the other side. So all fours, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, okay? Arm and leg, opposite sides for 8. Two more. 2 and 1. Then go to the other side. Switch. Make sure that you have hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. Okay. Up and down. Halfway. 2 more. 2 and 1. Very good. All right. Our bridge with the single, both arms flying out, okay? You choose the size of your weights. And come down to the ground. Knees are bent. Lift up into that bridge. Arms come up with a slight bend. Take 1 out, the other out, both out. 1, the other, and both. Very good. 1, the other, and both. Again. Halfway through. 3 more sets. Two. Last set. All right, very good. Bring that bridge down and sit on up. Okay, the next one is the windmill. I'm going to take both my weights with me, but technically you only need 1. Okay. Bring those feet nice and wide. Choose a side. That arm comes up. Slide down the leg with this other one, looking up towards that weight, and back up to the top. 8 of these, okay? Nice strong arm at the top. Halfway. Two more. And final one. Switch to that other side. Bring it up. Slide down and look up. Nice. Halfway. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. All right. Next one is our balance one. Okay. We do the row, we do the fly. We're doing it from that held single leg deadlift. So we'll do 4 on one leg. We'll switch, find our position, and do the other one. Okay. So hinge forward with a nice straight back. Look, my balance is going so well today. Hinge forward, find that balance, leg comes off the ground. Row and fly. Row and fly. 1 more on this leg. Let's switch to the other leg, okay? Find the balance. Row and fly. Row and fly. 1 more. All right. Remember, you can kickstand that one if you need to. High curls are next, okay? 8 of these. That's where you're doing that lateral raise, curling into the shoulders, extending back out, okay? Here we go. Curl 8. Breathe. Halfway. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down, nice and careful. All right, canoe rows. So grabbing one weight, making that figure 8. Bringing those two hip width apart, sinking into a partial squat, activating the core. Figure 8 for me. Nice. Halfway, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, 2 weights. Oh, sorry, lied. 1 weight. It goes on the floor. We're going to do a row on one side, then a row on the other. Okay. So single arm rows, dumbbell stacks on the ground. Kind of nice, slightly wider than hip width apart stance. Come down to that partial squat. Reach, row, set it down. Switch, row, set it down. Nice. Being gentle on your floor. Halfway, guys. You're also getting some leg work in this one with this held squat. 1 more each side. Make sure you have a nice strong back through this whole move. All right, stand up. Excellent. Okay. Kneeling, lean back with overhead tricep is next, okay? You can take 2 weights or 1. You can take 1 in between both hands. And if this lean back gives you any problems with the knees, feel free to take it out and just do the tricep overhead extension, okay? Arms overhead, lean back, tricep extension at the top. Lean back, tricep extension at the top. Activate the core, the glutes on that lean back. You want your body to stay nice and almost like a stiff board, okay? 2 more. 1 more. Nice. All right. Hollow hold with that flutter kick. So I'm going to take this single dumbbell with me. I'm going to lay down on my back. Glutes are going to come up above the chest. You can also come behind the head with straight arms. If you're kind of coming past the ears, you want to make it a little more difficult. Okay. So lay down. Bring that weight up. I'm going to feel my shoulder blades. Bring the feet up and flutter. For 7 and 8, you're done. Come down. All right, renegade rows with that push-up in between are next. 8 of them, okay? See if you can do the whole set of 8, but if the push-ups get too difficult, you can always just stick with the renegade rows, okay? From that plank position. Plank can be on knees or toes. Push-ups can be on knees or toes as well, okay? I'm gonna come to my toes, set up a lovely plank. Nice and wide feet, row one side, then the other, push up. One side, then the other, and halfway. One more. If you're still going, go, go, go. Finish off those 8 reps if you can. Nice. No dumbbells needed for this last final exercise. Double cannot say that today. Double leg lower, open and close at the bottom. Then move my weights out of my way. All right, lay down, legs come up. You can lift those shoulders if you like. Down, open, close, back up to the top. Down, open, close, back up to the top. Halfway through. Almost there. One more. Alrighty. Grab a sip of water. Okay, try and take some nice deep breaths. We're going to be at the top of our pyramid next with 10 reps. Okay? We'll see how long this takes us. We may not fully come down to the end of the pyramid. It's possible we only may do 2 more sets with 10 reps and then 8. But it'd be great. It'd be a great workout no matter what. All right. Some of you may be grateful that you don't have to do the full pyramid. I make no guarantees though, maybe we'll be really fast. Okay, starting with all fours, the fly and fire hydrant. Okay, so grabbing one weight. Okay, 10 reps this time. All right, come down to the ground, set it up, all fours, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, opposite arm, opposite leg, coming out to the side and back to center. Try and balance the body over the head. 2 appendages still on the ground. Hang in here, give me 3, 2, and 1. We'll switch to that other side. Okay? Make sure the balance is there. Up and down. It's 5, halfway. 2 more. 2 and 1. Nice. Excellent. Grabbing 2 weights for bridge fly. 1 arm, second arm, both arms. Okay? Grab the second weight. Come down to the ground on your back. Watch your form as you transition from one move to another as well, okay? Knees are bent, feet are on the ground. Lift up into that bridge. Arms come overhead with a slight bend. One side, other side, both sides. Excellent. One side, other side, and both. We've got this. Breathe for me, everybody. Halfway. Still on one side, other side, and both. Give me 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more set. Nice. Come down. I like to set my weights on my hips and then roll myself on up. Our windmill is the next thing, okay? So you can take both weights with you or just one. Bring those feet nice and wide apart, okay? Decide which side to start on. The arm comes up overhead. I'm gonna slide the dumbbell down this side, looking up, okay? Down and up. Breathing for me. Halfway. 4, 3, 2, and 1. To the other side. Bring this arm up. Look up. Sliding the other arm down and up. Halfway, guys. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, arms are tired, right? Okay. Single leg deadlift. Holding that with the alternating row and fly. Okay? So 5 each foot this time. Okay? All right, so find that balance. Hinge forward. Here we go. Row and fly. Row and fly. One more this side. All right, and switch to the other side. If you have to kickstand, you can. I had to kickstand a few of those. All right, hinge forward. Here we go. Row and fly. Two more. And 1. Nice. Stand up. Muscles are getting tired, okay? High curls are next, okay? Bring those arms to that lateral raise, curling into the shoulders, extending back out. It's our highest number of reps. Bring it up, curl in and out for 10. Standing tall. Breathing, guys. Halfway. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Got a really nice shadow of myself behind me. Motivating me to go. All right, canoe rows are next. So 1 dumbbell for this, making those nice figure 8s. Feet hip width apart, slight bend in the knees, activate the core. 1 hip to another. We are halfway. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, kneeling, lean back with the overhead tricep, okay? Come to those knees, arm comes up overhead, lean back, tricep extension at the top. Lean back, tricep extension at the top. Halfway. Nice locked out body on this. 2 more. 1 final one. Nice. Bring it down. Dumbbell hollow hold with the flutter kick, okay? So coming down to the ground, holding that weight above. Right here, okay? Bring those legs up. If you want, you can lift the shoulder blades. We're fluttering. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Alrighty. And we'll do our renegade row with push-up. Okay? So you decide on the weight. This is our highest amount of reps. So 10, if you can maybe cut that short. Do what your body needs to do today. Okay? Alright, knees or toes. Step that up. Throw one side, then the other. Push up in the middle. Pace yourself. Do something that is sustainable. halfway. Three. That was really bad push-up, guys. You're still going. You got this. Finish this off, okay? All right. Whew. Okay. Nice deep breath. Gonna do that double leg lower, open and close. Okay? Then I have some good news after that. Okay? All right. Lay down. Bring those legs up. Okay? I'm gonna peel my shoulder blades off the ground. Gently support in the head. Double leg lower, open, close. Back up. Double leg lower, open, close. Back up. Four, three, two, and one. All right. Take a nice deep breath. All righty. So the good news is I got really ambitious when I wrote this workout, thinking we were going to do this as many reps as I put down. And we are running short on time. So we are going to just build the pyramid all the way up. We're going to finish off with some different exercises, and then we're going to stretch it out, okay? This workout is not going to stretch on for eternity, I promise. All right. So we're going to come down to the ground, okay? And we're going to do some back work, all right? So the first one that we are going to do, let me just move my mat out a little bit, is we're going to do an extend back extension. So think of making yourself an X, arms are wide, legs are also going to be wide. So a level one for this one would be to take out the bend and to just look up and down like you're doing a Superman. It looks like this. Just up and down, up and down. Sometimes we also call these skydivers, okay? If you want to advance the move, we're going to do, I mentioned X bend. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift up, we're going to bend the elbows, bring the hands to the head, bring the feet together, extend back out. So bending in and out, okay? We're going to do 10 of these, either lifting and lowering or holding the lift and bending in and straightening out, okay? Here we go. Lift, bend, and extend. Breathe for me. Eyes on the floor. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down to the ground. We're going to be bringing the arms back to our regular Superman position, and we're going to do some swimmers. So swimmers are like a flutter. We lift up, we flutter the arms, we flutter the legs. Let me demo right here. So we're lifting and we're fluttering, okay? So 10 of these, here we go. 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Excellent job. Okay, one final exercise and then we stretch it out. So we are going to be doing a side plank variation, okay? One side at a time. So level 1 is just holding a side plank. Level 2, let me show you what this is gonna look like. So you can do this from either elbow or extend it all the way up on that arm. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna need to take this top foot in front, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this bottom leg under and tap that knee, okay? So I'm actually balancing on my top leg instead of the bottom like we often do, okay? If you're like, I don't want to get involved in that, that looks like I'm in a face plant, just hold the side plank for me, okay? All right, so we're coming up, trying to make sure that shoulder is over that elbow, okay? Top foot is balanced. Tap that knee here for 10. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, gonna do the other side, okay? Feels a little weird because it's maybe not how we're used to doing that side plank. All right, so again, let's set it up. Elbow over shoulder. We want to make sure that top leg comes in front and is nice and balanced, okay? You're ready to bring that bottom leg through and tap. Make 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Nice job, guys. All right. While we're down here, let's take one leg out to the side, bend this other one here in front, bring the arm across the body, and this arm down. We're breathing. Try and slow that breathing down. Leaning into the stretch, trying to find a gentle pull. Bring those hands to the floor in front of you, and lean forward ever so slightly. So we're gonna sit up and take that other leg out to the side. Sit nice and tall, reach across the body, and then down the leg. Still slowing that breathing down. Now bring those hands to the floor in front of you, and lean forward ever so slightly. Again, just a nice gentle stretch. Don't want to overdo it, don't want to pull anything. And sit up. All right, let's sit. Bring both those legs in front of us. Sit tall. Bend the one knee. Cross it over and hug that knee in. You want to add a spinal twist. Sit tall. Take this hand behind. Look over that shoulder. Feeling that twist to the spine. Feeling the deepening stretch through the glute and the hip. And come back to center. Gonna switch. Hug that knee in. If you want to add the twist, take the arm behind, look over that shoulder. And come back to center. All right, let's lay down on our back, okay? Rolling ourselves on back, take one leg to the floor. We're gonna bring that other knee, bend it, hug it towards the chest. I'm gonna circle my ankle line here. Circle the other direction. Hold that ankle still. Take that opposite hand, grab that knee and gently float across the body. And the arm lays out to the side. Hopefully you feel like your heart rate's coming back down towards normal. Bring this knee back to center. Take this leg down to the ground. Bend that other leg. Hug that knee towards the chest. Go ahead and circle the ankle. So we didn't do any explicit cardio moves today, but I'm sure that you guys got your heart rates up. Circle the ankle the other way. We sneak the cardio in any way I can. All right, hold that ankle still. Take that opposite hand, grab that knee. Gently pull across the body. This arm lays out to the side, trying to keep those shoulder blades on the ground. Bring this knee back to center. Bring both knees up, hug those knees. Add a little rocking motion side to side if you'd like. Now come to center. We're going to do some figure four. Release the knees. Cross an ankle over the opposite thigh. Thread those hands around that bottom leg and grab it and gently pull. Release and switch to that other side. Cross the ankle. Thread the hands. Grab that bottom leg. And release. Bring those feet down to the ground. Grab the backs of your legs and gently pull yourself up. You're going to stand up next, okay? Get up however you need to. Take your time. You're going to stretch those calves and stretch those arms, okay? So take a big step back. Press that back foot towards the floor, getting that calf stretch. Front knee is bent. Once you've got your balance here, bring an arm across the body, hugging it in towards the chest, grabbing it above the elbow. Very good. Keep the legs where they're at. Release that arm. Bring the elbow up. Grab it and gently pull, switching up that tricep. And release. Bring that back foot in. Take a big step back with the other foot. Press that heel towards the floor. Once you've got that balance, bring that other arm across the body. Keep the legs where they're at, but release that arm. Elbow comes up. Grab that elbow and gently pull. And release. Let's stand up and stretch those quads. You need to grab a wall or something you can. I'm going to stand tall, bend my knee, grab that foot, pulling it up. Try and keep that knee under the hip, standing tall. Nice deep breaths. Let's release, switch, grab that other foot, pull it up. Find that balance. And release, very good. Take these hands in front. We're going to interlace them, press them away. Bring them up to shoulder height. Round the shoulders and look towards the floor. Now stand tall. Take these hands up above the head, reaching from the heels of the feet all the way up through those fingers. Feeling the stretch through the back, through the arms, through the shoulders. Bring it ever so slightly to one side. Just a tiny smidge. And a tiny smidge to the other side. Bring those hands back to center one last time, reaching. We're going to release the hands, roll the wrists as they come down, roll them the other way, shake them out. Okay. We're going to do some standing deep breaths. I like to kind of add a plie squat with mine, so I'm going to turn my toes out. I'm going to inhale up, exhale down. Here we go. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down one more time. Inhale up, exhale down. All right, thanks for joining me for this early morning workout. I appreciate you setting your alarms earlier.